All right, last up on tonight's news. This comes from China. As many of you know, they have that bad milk scandal. A lot of babies sick. All right. Now, get this. Just over this past weekend, the number of sick children was 6,200 children that they knew had gotten sick from this bad milk. But now the government says today that number has jumped to 53,000 sick children. 53,000 sick children from this tainted milk. The government has vowed to crack down on those responsible for the scandal and has raised more questions about the safety of the country's food chain. More than 80% of the 12,892 children who are in the hospital in the past several weeks were 2 years old or younger. Most consumed infant formula from one company, the Shijiazhuang Sanlu Group, the dairy at the center of one of China's worst safety scandals in years. Another 39,965 children received outpatient treatment at hospitals and were considered basically recovered. So they didn't have to spend the night in the hospital. They were treated, they got better, and they never spent the night at the hospital. They stayed at home. Over the weekend, Hong Kong reported the first known illness outside of mainland China. A 3-year-old girl developed kidney stones after drinking Chinese dairy products. So, it says the ministry did not explain the sudden increase in the number of cases from 6,200 on Saturday to 53,000 today, 2 days later. But it suggested health officials were going through hospital records from May through August to trace the origins of the contamination. The deaths of 3 babies linked to tainted infant formula occurred in those months. So they were looking through hospital records of the summer to find out how many children had been treated for being sick. And that's why the number got so big, so fast. Serious food and product safety scandals have been a feature of Chinese life. The country's image took a beating last year when exports of medicines, toys, pet food ingredients, and other products killed and sickened people and animals in North and South America. Yeah, a lot of toys in America the past year or two had lots of lead, dangerous levels of lead inside the toys in America. That was all over the American news. All right. The chemical in the dangerous pet food was the same as in the milk scandal, a chemical called melamine. At the time, the government promised to overhaul inspection procedures and punish companies that took shortcuts. This crisis has included almost all of China's biggest dairy companies. Their products have been pulled from stores around the country, and also places like Hong Kong and Macau. Singapore announced Sunday that it had found traces of the toxic chemical in a 3rd Chinese-made dairy product in their country. And they're saying that Singapore says that samples of a milk-based candy imported from China contained melamine in it. So Singapore has it in Chinese candy. Retailers and importers have been instructed to recall these products and withhold them from sale. Japan has also recalled Chinese-made dairy products. Melamine is used in making plastics and is high in nitrogen, which registers as elevated protein levels in tests of milk. Though health experts believe ingesting minute, small amounts has no danger, melamine can cause kidney stones, which can lead to kidney failure, and infants are especially at risk for this. Now, I tell you what, I've had many kidney stones. They hurt. If you have kidney stones, you are miserable. You are on the floor, curled up in a ball, crying like a baby. They are painful. So, and last it says, some of the farmers who sell milk to Chinese food companies are thought to have used melamine to disguise watered down milk and fatten profit margins. So they're saying dairy farmers are selling milk to the Chinese dairy companies, and they're putting water in the milk to sell more milk, and then they put this chemical to make the test look like it has normal amounts of protein in it. So I know a little bit about Chinese law, and whenever they find somebody who's committing fraud, they kill them. So these farmers better be running and hiding.